We've been checking out our BG stats and we are looking at what our most played games are of 2024.
Hi, I'm Julian, this is Libby, and together we make up BoxedMeeples. Well, if you like playing board games, you should really get BG Stats. It's an app you can get on both Android and on Apple, and what it does is you can record all your plays. You can record who you've played with, where you played, who won, usually Libby, and who lost, usually me, and it's a fun way of looking back and remembering all the games you've played.
Yeah, so we've been looking into the app to see what our most played games are so far this year. And I mean, my numbers you have to sort of take with maybe a pinch of salt because I'm not as good at tracking the games as you are, particularly when they are sort of like in-app or BGA games rather than in-person ones. If we play together, it's absolutely fine because somebody else tracks all the games and just sends me the play file, but I sometimes do forget.
Yeah.
So I think that I've kind of sorted the numbers out to get this near on right.
Yeah.
But, you know, give or take a play or two.
Yeah, I'm quite meticulous about making even solo plays. I like to record because I can even keep track of specific game details. So I can go, oh, I won against that character more. I won with that faction more.
Yes, yeah. And I like that. I just don't
do it.
Always do it as much as I would like to.
So let's get into it. I've got my stats here, which are quite frankly shocking. I'm embarrassed by some of these numbers, and you have yours.
Yeah, so, which are a little bit more normal.
Yes. So what was your 10th most played game?
My 10th most played game was actually Disney Villainous. It's a game that we play relatively often. I think we've played through, all of the characters and things, and we did play quite a few more games for our little sort of Villainous tournament,
we did
and
top
updated
10
some new ones for the top 10. So I think we've got another sort of 5-ish plays around our Villainous fun play.
Yeah, Villainous didn't make my list because I think I played more of the same game. My lowest number is actually Final Girl.
Oh.
Which I played 7 times.
So that's not too far. I thought you were going to say something outrageous then.
There's some outrageous numbers coming.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
But yeah, I played a lot of Final Girl.
Yes.
I often use it to kind of unwind in the evening. If you're still working, I often sit down and play. So yeah, I played that 7 times.
So my 8 and my 9 have the same number of plays. Okay. So I will say them both now. So sharing 8 and 9 spot is both Rock Hard 1977. Okay. Let's Become a Rock Star. And Eat a Varying Amount of Sweets, depending on my character. Yeah. And my willingness to push my luck. And whilst we're talking about being a rock star, can't do that without whiskey, can you?
So a lot of distilled.
Distilled, yes. And they both have 7 plays.
Okay. Next for me was Planets Unknown with 8 players. I think it's probably going to be higher on your list. A fun one. Well, it's nice Lazy Susan. It's not a rondo. You're spinning Lazy Susan. You're building up your planet. We kind of fallen back in love with that. We'd had a kind of a gap from playing it for a while. I think we tend to do spurts where we play it loads and then not play it for 6 months and then play it loads. And that sort of waned a little bit, and now it's back in the BGA plays. I think I might be in a tournament at a minute, so it's going to go even higher probably by the time we actually get to the end of the year. Yeah, we're playing quite a bit of Tatsumi as well, but that's not included in the list because it's not out yet.
It's not playing
this. Then I have a surprise entry into my list because Phil from Fun with Boxes introduced us to a game of cat and mouse. Which is just pinging. It sounds ridiculous. You're pinging basically these balls into the cat's mouth, and it's a 2-player dueling game. And we played it.
It was hilarious. We had a tournament.
We had a lot of fun playing that. And while playing it, I ordered my own copy because I knew our daughters would really enjoy playing it. Which is why I've played it 10 times. Yeah,
they also like us to have tournaments, so and play again.
I think
I somehow have missed out on some of those at-home tournaments. I think I've been busy with other things or something. But certainly it didn't quite make the top 10 for me, but I have played it several times, probably because they don't want to play me because I always win. Although you won the original tournament.
I did.
I don't think you've beaten me
beginner's
since.
luck, really. And this is, so it's 10, I think it's probably 10 sessions. I don't keep individual track of each place. I think it's 10 seconds. Your turn.
Right, so my number 7 is another Disney, this time Lorcana. So I haven't tracked which different series. We played some of the Gateway, we've played, varying versions,
all sorts
mash
of Lorcana.
up decks, all sorts of things. Super fun. I'm surprised it's just 8, but
again, I think it's probably sessions.
Yeah, and quite often we would play varying times when we're sat down playing, swap decks, that kind of thing. So yes, Disney Lorcana is my number 7.
Disney Lorcana's in my list, but it's not number 7. Number 7 is Frosthaven, which we played 10 times apparently. We're doing a campaign, and life got in the way. So we're doing quite well playing it each week. Obviously, this is nearly 3 months of playing it every single week.
Yeah, I mean, weddings and work will do that to people, won't
they? I work long hours, so sometimes it's just not practical to get a 3-hour game session done in a week. Not on my list, kind of sneaking nearly into my list, was Buttons and Mugs, which I've been playing through the campaign of that as well. A fair amount of havening.
Yes, yeah. Well, and actually, whilst you're talking about havening, my joint number 5, so 5 and 6, does include Frosthaven at 10 plays. And as you called it earlier, the other one that's sharing that spot of 10 is Planet Unknown.
Idea?
Yeah, really loving that. And such great variety in that box with just having those different moons and then also having those other rules set. So when you have the combination of those two different things, it really does mix it up each time.
Yeah, I've also been playing Distilled. I played it 11 times.
Yes, we knew that would be more.
Yeah, it's probably way more than that. Because obviously I was demoing at Essen, but not playing complete games. So I didn't include any of those. But I know to get fully up to speed and to know everything about it, I played it a lot on BGA. I kind of put out
I think you put yourself in a tournament then as well.
I did a call to arms for all our followers on Instagram and X saying, let's play as much Distilled as we can. So I didn't keep track of them all because at one point I had
you said you were meticulous.
Oh, well, I had 4 games on the go at one point. I think probably what I did was I stored the ones where I won.
Yes. Yeah,
and then if I did terribly, I was trying a new technique. I was stretching the limits of the game, which is why I would have lost if I was playing against you. Yes, I played Distilled 11 times. So my number 5 was Lorcana. I think I played majority of that I played with you, but I also met up with Rosie from Cozy Board Games.
Yes, and you went to the event.
And we went to the one of the launches. I played some. It was Ursula's Return, I believe.
It was Ursula's Return, So the launch event there, you would have played a couple of times, so that makes it a bit more than I did.
I think it's probably higher than the amount of plays on here. But yes, I played quite a bit.
Number 4 is an app. So again, hopefully I remember the track right. But I think that I've played Route 12 times.
Played more.
Yeah. I know that you have.
Yeah.
I know that you have. We have played it a few times in person this year as well. I've really enjoyed playing the rats, particularly.
Yeah. The app is superb.
It is.
It's a great way of learning the game. We always say if you want to teach people, just tell them to get the app, play for the tutorial. But it hasn't got all the factions in.
It doesn't, no. But I think that playing on the app keeps me ticking over as remembering what everyone does and how they work. And I still forget if I haven't kind of played them for quite a while, so that when we do come down and sit and play it proper, then I feel a little bit more able to just dive straight in and it all kind of floods back to you. But I do think that sort of interaction around the table makes a huge difference, especially if you're playing some of the
otters,
like the otters and stuff. But just being able to see what everyone's doing that little bit more, I think you're a little bit more focused as to, I see what they're doing when it's in person. But the app has its purpose, for sure.
You did very well in the tournament.
I did okay. I I did throw it all in.
You did.
Put all my eggs in the basket.
You went for dominance
I
play.
did, and it was tricky. And I think
we'll never know what could have been.
No.
My fourth most played game was Sky Team.
Oh.
We play it obviously together. I play it a lot on BGA with our friend Jess. And yeah, keen to get Turbulence. We haven't actually played much Turbulence.
No.
So
we did get it, but we haven't had a chance to play it as yet. But even so, how many times have you played?
I have played it a glorious number of 15 times.
Right. Oh, we don't have too much difference at this stage of the game because my number 3 is Sky Team.
Okay.
And I'm at 13 plays.
I must have played it twice of Jess.
Yeah. So not too bad. And it is one that we did take on honeymoon with us. I wanted to play on the plane.
Wasn't brave enough.
Someone else said no.
No, not doing that.
We have played it quite a bit on BGA as well as in person. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So you're number 3.
We're slightly veering into silly territory. Yeah. So Overboss, I've played 15 times. And I think every one of those, with exception, including Overboss duel in this as well. So some of those players will be dual with you, but the majority of those are solo.
Yes.
Quite a lot of Overboss. Yeah, I like Overboss. I think now, to be honest, I played it a lot of times quite close together. And it kind of lost its appeal because I kind of got into autopilot when I was playing it and kind of beating myself up if I didn't get 80 points in a game and things like that. So I've had a little step back from it. But that Super Boss Monster is coming next year. And that's got a solo mode. So I suspect that's going to take Overboss's place. But yeah, I do enjoy playing Overboss.
Okie dokie. My number 2 is actually the same as Sky Team, 13 plays. And it's Knarr. Game that I've been desperate to get hold of for all of the beginning of the year, and I wanted to take it away with us on honeymoon, but hadn't managed to get a copy. But we did play it on honeymoon. We went to a board game shop, which was nice. Knew that I loved it, got it very soon after getting back. And then we were playing it at Aircon. I've been playing it on BGA loads. Absolutely adore it. It's one of my favourite small box games at the moment, still holding itself up there on that little rank. But yes, so I really like the Viking action that Knarr's bringing. Yeah,
Knarr didn't make my top 10. I haven't played it as much as you.
No, I think you don't play it as much on BGA.
No, I don't play online. Number 2 is Root. Number 2. 19 plays of
Which
Root.
Isn't as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's...
Anywhere near.
No,
actually.
So it's... by playing online, obviously it takes a few days, sometimes a week to get through a game, depending on how long the game goes on. So yeah, it's that's more than nearly twice a month. So yeah, I've often got a game of Root going. I don't like to play multiple games. I like to just
get a bit confusing. So who you are, where you are, what's everyone's doing.
Particularly if you're playing the same faction in multiple games. So I do try to stick to just one.
Yeah.
So 19 plays of Root.
That is more than my top play on my list. So I've played Sea, Salt and Paper, I think 14 times.
About 14
times. This is another one that we did take on honeymoon with us, so we had quite a few plays there. We've also been playing it online when we haven't been able to play it physically, although so easy to do that. We've played it on the train on the way into London for days out and things, taking it to conventions. Absolutely love it. Like I can't see us not. We've got the extra salt.
It's small, it's portable, it's nice to play, it's thinky. And it's just I can't imagine, like you're saying, I can't imagine us not chucking it in when we're going to get a chance to play it.
No, I mean, it's so nice to try and work out what you're going to combo each game, and you're going to work on the shells. Are you going to try and get those sharks and swimmers and just keep stealing stuff constantly? And I think that there's always going to be that appeal of, can I get 4 mermaids? Until I've never managed to do
happened.
It. Very close, so close, tantalisingly close.
And I took it from your hand.
Yes.
Took one from your hand and you're about to pick one up.
And I just picked up the next one, and then it was like, I could have done it then. But so certainly until that happens, we need to keep playing. Yeah.
Okay, so my number 1 is Hostage Negotiator. Guess how many times I've played Hostage Negotiator, which is a solo game, so none of these are of you.
No, they're not.
Guess how many. So Root was 19.
But you play it on the app a lot, and you play it on the train.
So I used to have it on my old phone, and then I broke my phone, and I couldn't replace it because it's no longer on the store. So I don't have it digitally anymore. So then started just playing it on the train with the boards. Didn't take a play map. That'd be a bit much.
Bit much for the train table.
I do adapt it slightly, so I've got all the kind of mark in my hand. But guess how many times I've played Hostage Negotiator?
Well, I know it's a crazy number.
It's a silly number.
Of I think close to 50.
Very close to 50. It's 49. So close, I now want to go after filming this and play it one more time. So I've played it 50 times in the year.
Over. Well, you know for a fact that will happen before we close out the year.
I'm going on a train tomorrow.
Especially seeing as you had the last of the new packs that you didn't have come recently, and I don't think you've I haven't played that one just yet. No, so that's going to have to happen, isn't it?
It's kind of foreshadowing what might be on our top 50s list here. I absolutely love Hostage Negotiator. It's I find it so tense and so exciting, and I'm now kind of a 50-50 success ratio, which shows just how hard it is. Bear in mind, I played it 50 times, nearly 50 times. And I wish I could play Final Girl on the train, but it's just that extra boards you have to use just take up that little bit too much space. It's I can't take up a whole table on a train. But it's interesting getting reactions from people, who are, you see, they think I'm playing some sort of card game, and then I start rolling dice, and they're like, oh, what is going on here? I feast on their reactions sometimes. So 49 times
49
of Hostage
plays,
Negotiator.
golly gosh. And it is interesting that I think those that get the highest plays tend to be either the smaller boxes, certainly the quicker play times, maybe the ones that we end up playing as a family, like Lorcana, like a game of cat and mouse. Whereas, and these are fantastic games, but whether they would be our favourite games of the year, which might include some of the heavier, longer ones, you just don't get a chance to play
but often
multiple times.
The experience is better than 20 plays of one game. But we just can't play a 3-hour-long game on the train. Well,
you could give
it a go on the way to Scotland.
But so that's our top plays of 2024 so far. I think it's not going to change hugely in that time. So I think we're pretty safe. But what's the game that you've been playing most this year? We would love to hear from you. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. It really does help us out. And of course, you can click that little bell as well, so whenever we have new videos coming up, and as we get into the new year, we'll be doing our top 50 of all time. So that's an interesting one to catch,
which may or may not include these games we played a lot of this year. But where's a good place to buy these games? Your friendly local game store. And for us in the southeast of England, that is Chaos Cards. And if you're shopping online at Chaos Cards, make sure you use our discount code in the description to save yourself some money at the checkout. But as always, thank you so much for watching.
Bye.